We beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom have been pleased to call to the performance of important trusts in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests are committed to our church. Amen. Such terms ring the bell.
The Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Justin Muturi, currently presiding over the business of the House this afternoon, has ordered that the quorum bell be rung, and according to the directives by the Speaker and the provisions of the House under Standing Orders number 34 subsection 2, is that the House now has 10 minutes to raise at least 50 members of Parliament to allow for commencement of business this afternoon. A look at the order paper this afternoon is after the consideration of the three motions. The House will then move to the consideration of the Supreme Court Amendment Bill, this being a bill by the Leader of Majority, Bill number 15 of the year 2022. And upon conclusion of debate, which is usually allocated 3 hours, upon conclusion of the remainder of time, the House will move to vote on that particular amendment bill. The memoranda of this particular bill is to amend the Supreme Court Act of 2011, and this is in order to align it with the current practices of the court, as well as improve the current court's efficiency in discharging of its mandate. According to the mover of this particular bill, is that a number of sections under the Act have been declared unconstitutional, and there is need therefore to have the same reflected in the Act. And this therefore and furthermore recommends that the amendment to the Act in various cases, such as the Commission on Administrative Justice, the Commission on Administrative Justice versus the Attorney General and the Law Society of Kenya as an interested party, and calls for the update of the Supreme Court governing statute. The bill in question has a total number of 31 clauses, and to just highlight some of the proposals in the 31 clauses is that under clause number 25, the bill prescribes for the preliminary procedures that may be handled by one judge, two or more judges, as well as matters the court. The bill also confers on the court the powers to make regulations, and it does not limit any fundamental rights or freedom. After the consideration of the Supreme Court Amendment Bill, the House will then consider the Prompt Payment Bill, this being a bill from the Senate, Bill number 16 of the year 2021, and this particular bill is moved at the National Assembly by the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Matters Finance and National Planning. This particular bill on the prompt payment seeks to issue or to solve the issue of delayed payments on the services rendered to various institutions as well as state corporations. The approval of amendments to the standing orders is a bill, or rather a motion, that the House is currently considering. We had this particular motion earlier this week, and members of Parliament keep or continue to make proposals on further amendments to the standing orders. This is a motion that we await to see the contributions before members vote for the adoption of new proposals in the House standing orders that are set to be used by the 13th Parliament. According to the law, it is provided for that at the expiry of each Parliament, the standing orders may be amended. The report on the examination of the financial statements for the financial government the report of the examination of the financial statements for the national government for the financial year 2018 as well as 2019 is a motion for consideration before the floor of the House, and this particular report on this particular motion was laid on the table of the House on May 17th, the year 2022. After consideration of the motions as well as amendment bills, the House will then move into the Committee of the Whole House, where the House will consider two bills. The National Assembly standing orders by the Chairperson Procedure and House Rules Committee, and the Finance Bill, this being a bill by the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Matters Finance and National Planning. The Kenya Roads Board Amendment Bill by the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Matters Transport, Public Works and Housing is an amendment bill at the second stage. The Traffic Amendment Bill, a bill from the National Assembly, Bill number 60 of the year 2021, a bill that has been prioritized in the order paper this afternoon, with the leader of majority set to move a procedural motion that the House sits until such a time the debate is expedited on the Traffic Amendment Bill. The House is also set to consider the study visit to the Legislative Assembly of Alberta, Canada, this being a report by the Chairperson's Committee on Matters Member Services and Facilities. The Chairperson Public Investments Committee will be moving a motion on the report of the financial statements for the state corporations. And this particular report was laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, May 31st, 2022. A couple of bills from the Senate are set to be considered by the House this afternoon. The Manx Bill, Bill number 9 of the year 2020. And this particular bill is by the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Matters Agriculture and Livestock. The County Boundaries Bill by the Chairperson Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs. is also another bill from the Senate, and this happens to be Bill number 20 of the year 2021. The Honourable Member for Bomet Central, Honourable Ronald Tanui, will be asking questions, and these questions are directed to the Cabinet Secretary for Education, and the questions are pursuant to the standing orders of the House number 42A subsection 5. The House appears to have raised the requisite quorum to commence business this afternoon, and now hand over, we follow up on the proceedings.
Honour members, take your seats now. I'm told we now have the requisite quorum. You can read the first one and the second.
Order number one, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions.
Now, honour members, the member from Vita, you can take your seat. Now, honour members, honour members, as you may have noticed, I do appreciate that every day we get new members attending. Like I'm sure the ones who are today here will not be there on Tuesday because of the various things that are happening. With a few exceptions of the Deputy Speaker, Majority Whip, and the Honourable Wandai, Honourable Marie, Honourable Wanyonyi, Honourable Wamunyinyi, Honourable Abdulswamad. Now, I've noticed that if we go through the normal motions, because now the next order is order number 5, papers, there are some members who have no capacity to sit here beyond 5 minutes. So, and we have been unable to transact certain businesses because they disappear too fast. Now, I'm rearranging the order paper so that we move to order number 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14 in that order before we go to back to order number 5 for papers to be laid, because I'm sure by the time we are through with that, we are likely to have dissipated a bit. But for the time being, honour members, there's even a member who was coming now, she's walking away. She has just finished and walked away. Now there's no need of naming anybody now, I think. So I'll just request that those of you who are present, please, let us be able to dispose of these businesses, because it's just by way of putting the question and the decision being taken. So please, I know there are some of you who already now have sat for too long, but please, just for me there for another 10 minutes, we'll be through. Clerk.
Order number 9, motion. Report of the Committee of Supply on budget estimates for the financial year 2022-2023. Question to be put.
Now that member who is walking out, is this the Honorable Kilonzo? Oh, good. You see, the Honorable Kilonzo has gotten thirsty. Those ones making your way, please come in. Honourable members, debate of this motion was concluded, and what remained is for the question to be put, which we couldn't put on Tuesday because we did have quorum. And like I said, honourable members, quorum is important when you are making a decision. So I put the question that this House to agree with the report of the Committee of Supply in its consideration of the budget estimates for the financial year 2022/2023, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 221 of the Constitution, Section 39 of the Public Finance Management Act of 2012, and standing under number 240A, approves the issuance of a sum of Kenya shillings 2,103,838,811,446 from the Consolidated Fund to meet the expenditure for the national government during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect to the votes as approved in the schedule to the order paper. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next. Next.
Order number 10, motion. Report of the Committee of the Whole House on the National Government Constituency Development Fund Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2021. Question to be put.
The Chair of Budget and Appropriations Committee was not even in himself when we were dealing with his business. Well, honourable members, again, this is just to put the question, which I hereby do. Now, this House to agree with the report of the Committee of the Whole House on its consideration of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2021. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. As many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Is it the mover? Mover move for that reading.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that the National Government Constituency Development Fund Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2021, be now read a third time. And I also want to ask the Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi to second.
Honorable Wanyonyi, member for Kwanza.
Speaker, I second.
Honourable members, I propose the question, which is that the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2021, be now read a third time. Honourable members, there being nobody making any comments, and having confirmed that the House still has quorum, I now put the question, which is that the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 4 of 2021, be now read a third time. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Act 2015.
Next order.
Order number 11, the Supreme Court Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2022, question, second reading, question to be put.
Honourable members, debate on this bill was concluded on Tuesday this week. What remains is the question to be put, which I hereby do. That the Supreme Court Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2022, be now read a second time. Will as many as what opinion say aye? Aye. As many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of Parliament to amend the Supreme Court Act and for connected purposes.
Next.
Order number 12, the Prompt Payment Bill, Senate Bill number 16 of 2021, second reading, question to be put.
This member who is, why can't you take a seat? He's a member for Kilifi North. The honorable member is not coming in. It's like somebody who is a friend of the ocean. Again, honorable members, I put the question, which is that the Prompt Payment Bill, Senate Bill number 16 of 2021, be now read a second time. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. As many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of Parliament to provide for prompt payment for the supply of goods, works, or services and for connected purposes.
Next.
Order number 13, motion, approval of amendments to the standing orders. Question to be put.
Now, those two lady members, or you are through. Surely, oh no, member, just be patient. We are going to be through where we will release you. But we will still continue to make law for the country. I hope you are part of the team that is making the law. Honourable members, I put the question, debate having been concluded, which is that this House adopts the fifth report of the Procedure and House Rules Committee on amendments to the standing orders laid on the table of the House on Thursday, May 26, 2022, and pursuant to provision standing under 264, under 264 and 265, approves the proposed amendments to the standing orders as contained in the first schedule to the report, and further resolves that 1. Pursuant to the provision of standing order 265, the amendments made to the standing orders shall commence upon the expiry of the term of the 12th Parliament, and 2. Despite paragraph 1 above, the proposed new standing orders, standing order 259F, subsection 5, which is about member biodata and roll, shall take effect immediately. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I only hope members know that I'm sure many of you may not know this procedure, that this is the only time normally that when we move into committee of the whole House, the Speaker will leave the chair and go to the chairman's chair to deal with the amendment to the standing orders. Let's move to the next order.
Order number 14, motion, report on the examination of the financial statements for the national government for the financial year 2018-2019. Question to be put.
Members, this is the report by the Public Accounts Committee, and the Honourable and I indicated that he threatened to table yet another report before the House goes to recess sine die, and we'll still continue to congratulate him and his committee for the work well done. So debate on this report was concluded on Tuesday this week, and what remained is for the question to be put, which I hereby do. That I put the question that this House adopts a report of the Public Accounts Committee on the examination of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the national government for the financial year 2018-2019, laid on the table of the House on May 17th, 2022. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Now, so this paves the way for the Honorable and I to table the report for the financial year 2019-2020. And that is really commendable. Honorable and I. So, you know, we actually stopped so that we could dispose of these questions, because so we will go now back to order number 5.
Order number 5, papers.
Majority Whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. 1. Bilateral air service agreements between Kenya and Czech Republic, Cyprus, Chile, Belize, Suriname, Tanzania, Austria, and Barbados, and the explanatory memorandum. 2. Protocol relating to Articles 50A and 56 of the Convention on International Civil Aviation, 1994, and explanatory memorandum. 3. Report of the Auditor General for the national government, ministries, departments, and agencies for the year 2020-2021. And lastly, 4. Report of the Auditor General and financial statements in respect of Tinderet constituency for the year ended 30th June 2019 and the certificate therein. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Chairman, Departmental Committee on Agriculture. Honorable Tiren.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. Reports of the Departmental Committee on Agriculture and Livestock on its consideration of the following. 1. The Man Beans Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2020. 2. Public petition regarding miraa farming and marketing. And 3. The public petition regarding restoration of revival of Kenya cashew nuts factory. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
The Chair, Public Investments Committee. But before the Chair, Public Investments Committee tables his report, let me recognize the presence in the public gallery of pupils from Mweki Primary School in Roiro constituency, Kiambu County. I tell them that they are welcome to observe the proceedings of the National Assembly this afternoon. Chair, Public Investments Committee.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, June 2nd, 2022, the report of the Public Investment Committee on its consideration of the Special Audit Report on the Lake Turkana Wind Project.
Chairperson or Chairman, Transport, Public Works and Housing, Honorable Kosing.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, June 2022. The report of the Departmental Committee on Transport, Public Works and Housing on its consideration of the Kenya Roads Board Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 13 of 2022. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Next is the Chairman, Committee on Delegated Legislation, the Honorable Kamket.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, June 2nd, 2022. Report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of, number 1, the draft elections registration of voters amendment regulations 2022. 2, the draft elections general amendment regulations 2022. 3, the draft elections voter education amendment regulations 2022. 4, the draft elections party nominations and party lists amendment regulations 2022. And 5, the draft elections technology amendment regulations 2022. I thank you.
Very well. Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Honorable Abdul Samad.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that this House adopts the special audit report on the electric Turkana wind project laid on the table of the House on Thursday, June 2nd, 2022.
Honorable Kamket.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion. That this House adopts the report of the Committee on Delegated Legislation on its consideration of the draft elections, registration of voters amendment regulations 2022, the draft elections general amendment regulations 2022, the draft elections voter education amendment regulations 2022, the draft elections party nominations and party lists amendment 2022 regulations, and the draft elections technology amendment regulations 2022 laid on the table of the House on Thursday, June 2nd, 2022, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 109(3) of the Elections Act 2011, does not approve the draft election regulations. I thank you.
You know, this one, Igwana members, they already done. Very well. Next order. No question.
Notice.
Yeah. Sorry. Majority Whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion that, pursuant to the provisions of Section 52 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012, this House approves the Public Finance Management in brackets National Government Amendment Regulations 2022, published as legal notice number 89 of 26th May 2022, thus approving the amendment made to the Public Finance Management in brackets National Government Regulations 2015 Principal Regulations in Regulation 26(1) by deleting paragraph C and substituting therefore the following paragraph. C. Pursuant to the provision of Section 50 in brackets 2 of the Act, the public debt shall not exceed 10 trillion shillings. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Member for Med Central.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the following questions, the Cabinet Secretary for Education. 1, could the Cabinet Secretary explain the inordinate delays by the Kenya National Examination Council in making payments to invigilators, supervisors, examiners, and other personnel who rendered services during the administration and marking of 2021 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, KCSE examinations, and Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, KCPE. 2, when will the teachers be paid who rendered their services? Thank you.
The question will be responded to before the Departmental Committee on Education. The next segment is on statements. The only statement I expect today is from the leader of the majority whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2A, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee regarding the business prioritized for consideration. Honorable Speaker, as members are aware, the House has allocated a significant portion of this time to considering the budget estimates for the financial year 2022-23 and other related legislations. I want to thank the leadership of the House and all members for the cooperation we have had so far. We still have a few important stages to go through in this regard, including passage of the Appropriation Bill and the Finance Bill 2022, which will be considered today in Committee of the Whole House. I therefore urge members to be patient and support the House leadership in finalizing this critical part of the budget process, especially where the House may have to sit late to conclude the business. Honorable Speaker, on Tuesday next week, the following business has been scheduled for consideration. 1, first reading of the Appropriation Bill 2022, subject to its publication. 2, second reading of the following bills. 1, the Appropriation Bill 2022. 2, the Beans Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2020. And 3, the County Boundaries Bill, Senate Bill number 20 of 2021. 3, Committee of the Whole House on the following bills. 1, the Appropriation Bill 2022. 2, the Supreme Court Amendment Bill 2022. And 3, the Universities Amendment Bill 2021. Honorable Speaker, also scheduled for consideration are motions on the following matters. 1, report of the Budget and Appropriation Committee on the consideration of the second supplementary estimates for the financial year 2021-2022. 2, report of the Public Investments Committee on the examination of the financial statements for state corporations. And 3, report of the Committee on Member Services and Facilities on the study visit to the Legislative Assembly of Alberta, Canada. Honorable Speaker, I am reliably informed that at the moment there are no questions scheduled for response by Cabinet Secretaries. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee shall reconvene on Tuesday, 7th June 2022 to schedule the business for the rest of the week. Honorable Speaker, I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Igembe South.
Asante sana Bwana Spika. Bwana Spika, nataka kukushukuru sana sababu wiki mbili zilizopita nilisimama katika bunge hili kuuliza ombi kutoka kwako ya kwamba kuna maombi nilikuwa nimeleta hapa mwaka wa 2020 na wakati ambapo nilileta hili ombi alikuwa limeshughulikiwa sababu lilikuwa ombi la mwananchi wa Igembe Kusini, mwananchi ambaye alikuwa amefungiwa soko ya miraa, na hili ombi niliweza kulileta kwa kamati ya kilimo. Na siku ya leo Bwana Spika, nashukuru pia kiongozi wa ile kamati sababu ameweza kuleta yale majibu katika bunge hili. Ni ombi langu sana wizara sababu Bwana Spika,
haya maombi yamekaa kwa muda mrefu sana, na wananchi wangu wa Igembe Kusini wametaabika sana, sababu wakati ambapo miraa ilifungwa hawanja kuwa na soko mahali popote, na kwa hivyo wamekuwa na shinda nyingi. Na kwa hivyo nashukuru sana na naomba, sababu hili hombi leo limeweza kujibiwa, au wananchi waweze kushughulikiwa ili biashara iweze kufunguliwa tena. Pesa ambazo zilikuwa zimetumika, sababu kuna pesa serikali ilikuwa imepeana mwaka wa 2016-2017, pia hizo ziweze kutumika kusaidia huyu mkulima, sababu kuna maombi ya uchunguzi pia yalikuwa pale, ili wizara ya kilimo iweze kuangazia vyema ni vipi ambavyo waliweza kutumia hizi hela kusaidia mwananchi wa kule Meru, Bwana Spika. Kwa hivyo nashukuru sana kutimizwa kikamilifu. Nashukuru sana na Bwana Spika, pia tukitoka bunge hili naomba Mungu sana mahali ambapo utakuwa, vile ambavyo unatusaidia hapa uzindi kusaidia. Asante sana.
Honorable Ishungwa, you also have an intervention.
Yes. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, naomba pia nichangie hiyo ripoti kwa lugha ya Kiswahili, sababu Mheshimiwa John Paul amechangia kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Na ni dhahiri ya kuwa shida ya wakulima wa miraa, Mheshimiwa Spika, sisi sote tunajua sio shida hasa ambayo kiini chake ni wakulima. Kiini cha matatizo ya wakulima wa miraa ni mambo ya soko la miraa. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, tumetumia soko la miraa kama chombo cha siasa kwa miaka mingi. Na ni jambo la kushangaza ya kuwa waziri anayesimamia kilimo kwa wakati huu, Mheshimiwa yule Munya. Na Munya unajua kwa nyumbani ni huko Meru ambako kuna wakulima wengi wa miraa. Lakini pia unajua jina lake Munya kwa kikwetu ni kung'oa. Na sijui kama aliambiwa na mtu yeyote ya kuwa kazi yake ni kung'oa maisha ya wakulima, sababu ndiye tatizo kuu la wakulima wote. Mambo ambayo yamewekwa fedha za serikali kama hiyo ilikuwa ya miraa na matumizi mabaya kwa wizara hiyo. Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, unakumbuka juzi wakulima waliahidiwa ya kuwa atapewa mbolea ambayo bei yake imesaidiwa kukatwa bei na serikali, na akakimbia Trans Nzoia huko Kitale kufanya wakulima wapange laini siku mzima bila kupata mbolea, na wenye walipewa napewa kila mtu ngunia 10 ama 6, ilhali ni mkulima ambaye anahitaji ngunia 100 ama 200 za mbolea. Kwa hivyo nataka niseme mpaka waziri anayesimamia kilimo aache kufanya siasa na mambo ya wakulima na maisha ya wakulima. Awe na ule moyo wa kujua ya kuwa wakazi wa Meru, wakulima hasa wale wa Igembe na Tigani ambao wanategemea kilimo cha miraa, ni watu ambao jamii zao na familia zao zinategemea kilimo cha miraa. Kwa hivyo anapofanya siasa za miraa, na inashangaza Mheshimiwa Spika, nimemwona huyo waziri kinyume cha katiba akitembea kote nchini kufanya kampeni za kisiasa, akiahidi Wakenya mambo ambayo watafanya na serikali nyingine akiwa waziri wa kilimo. Sasa nashangaa kujiuliza Mheshimiwa Spika, mambo gani waziri ambaye saa hii ako serikalini kama waziri wa kilimo anawaahidi wananchi ya kuwa atayafanya na serikali nyingine akiwa kilimo? Labda atuambie tatizo, kama sio yeye tatizo basi iwe ni wakuu wake. Atuambie kuwa aliyemteua saa hii ako na tatizo ambazo anazuia yeye kutekeleza kama waziri, na atuambie yule anayemfanyia kampeni wakati huu kinyume cha katiba, Mheshimiwa Spika, sababu hakuna waziri na sijui nini nawasha wengine, sababu naongea mambo ya kikatiba. Katiba yetu ndio imetuambia hakuna waziri anayefaa kuwa akifanya siasa.
Shukran Mheshimiwa Spika. Mheshimiwa Spika, naomba kushukuru sana kwa kunipa nafasi hii ili niulize swali haswa kwako kama speaker, kuwa kama mwenzangu mbunge wa Kikuyu ako kikanuni kumtaja kisha kumuongelea mheshimiwa waziri bila hoja sawa kanuni, kinyume ya kanuni za hili bunge. Mheshimiwa Spika, yale maombi ambayo Mheshimiwa Ishungu alikuwa nayo yalikuwa mazuri bila kumuongelea Mheshimiwa Munya. Lakini vile ninavyoendelea, kama nauliza Mheshimiwa Spika kama yeye yuko sahihi kuendelea namna hivyo. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Najua Bwana Spika, na mheshimu sana Mheshimiwa Kiraja wa chama cha Jubilee, lakini sijui kama anaelewa hiyo katiba anayoongelea. Jukumu langu moja kuu kama mbunge wa Kikuyu ni kuhakikisha ya kuwa utekelezaji wa kazi za serikali na mawaziri waliopewa kazi na serikali ama na rais unafanyika kwa mujibu wa katiba hiyo. Na mambo ambayo nimejadilia ya Waziri Munya sio Mungu ya kuwa hatuwezi kumjadilia. Sijajadili mambo ambayo inamhusu yeye binafsi, na jadili utekelezaji wa kazi yake kama waziri wa serikali. Na hafanyi kazi ya serikali kama Peter Munya, anafaa afanye kazi ya serikali kwa mujibu wa katiba na sheria zilizowekwa. Na ndio nimetaja mambo ambayo amefanya ambayo ni kinyume cha katiba na cha sheria.
Mheshimiwa Obo.
Asante Bwana Spika. Nataka Mheshimiwa arekebishe. Si haki kumtaja na kutoa uzushi na kusema mambo ambayo hayana maana na kufanya siasa. Yeye ndio anafanya siasa, sio waziri anafanya siasa. Waziri hako hapa kwa Hansard kufanya siasa. Ambapo sisi watu wa Lamu tunajua miraa inapita boda ya Lamu ikenda Somalia, watermelon zetu haziendi. Ni kukosa shukrani. Waziri amefanya kazi kubwa zaidi. Kama ni soko ya miraa, sisi ndio tunashuhudia. Miraa zinapita Lamu, boda imefungwa na inaenda Somalia, ambapo watermelon zetu haziendi. Kisha wanasema bado waziri hajafanya kazi nzuri. Huo ni uzushi na wewe ndio utakufanya siasa. Asante.
Sasa amedhihirisha ya kuwa magendo yafanyika Bwana Spika, sababu anasema hizo ndizo shida ambazo Bwana Spika tunajadili. Kama soko limefungwa na anatuambia merikebu za vuka mpaka kwenda kupeleka miraa, ilhali serikali na msimamo wa serikali ni kuwa bado wanajadiliana mambo ya kufungua.
Member from Vita.
Bwana Spika, ndugu yangu Kimani Ichung'wah ambaye nitatamani hoja zake vile anavyozileta, lakini leo nataka kumnukuu maneno aliyozungumza na naomba anisikie, na ndio yale tunayozungumza. Bwana Spika, ametoa kauli hapa akasema ni kitu gani waziri anasema na yeye tayari ni waziri. Sasa wache ule waziri ambaye anaajiriwa na kufutwa na kalamu. Ni kitu gani yule ambaye kwamba ni naibu wa rais ambaye kikatiba hawezi kufutwa anaweza kukifanya kesho, leo kikawa kimemshinda kukifuata? Tusiwe Bwana Spika, tusiwe ni wenye ngozi mbili. Mbele za watu tuwe na ngozi ya kondoo, mbele ya wengine tuwe na ngozi za chui na fisi. Mbele za watu museme tutarekebisha hivi na hivi, ilhali mulikuwa katika serikali miaka yote. Sio miezi miwili kabla kura ndio hiyo ni ghafla watu wamekuwa malaika. Mimi nakubaliana na wewe hoja yako ya kuwa ikiwa ni waziri hukufanya siku zote, ni lipi utalisema utalifanya kesho? Na ikiwa ni naibu wa rais miaka 9 hukuweza kuyatekeleza, utayatekeleza gani yale ambayo kwamba utayatekeleza? Acheni siasa za abrakadabra bwana.
Mheshimiwa Spika, nakubaliana kabisa na ndugu yangu anayewania kiti cha ugavana cha Mombasa na namtakia heri. Lakini nafikiri hakunisikiza, sababu hoja yangu ilikuwa waziri ambaye ameteuliwa kwa wakati huu na kuna yule aliyemteua na amempea mamlaka yote ya kutekeleza yale anayoambia watu kwa mikutano ya kisiasa atatekeleza. Asipotuambia ya kuwa aliyemteua saa hii kuna mambo ambayo amemkataza kufanya kusaidia wakulima, hawezi tuambia kesho akiteuliwa na mwingine ndio ataweza kutekeleza. Kwa naibu wa rais, Bwana Spika, Mheshimiwa Abdul Samad anaelewa. Ukiangalia utaratibu uliokuwa jana pale kwa sherehe ya madaraka,
utajua naibu wa rais alifutwa kazi kinyume cha sheria pia na rais mwenyewe aliyekuwa na tabia ya madharau mengi sana jana. Kwa hivyo bwana Speaker, nataka nimjulishe na mfahamishe Mheshimiwa Abdul Swamad ajue ya kuwa hata kama naibu wa rais kikatiba hawezi futwa kazi na rais. Rais kwa mtindo na kwa tabia zake ashamfuta naibu wa rais kazi. Ni vile tu katiba inamlinda naibu wa rais. Rais amemkataza naibu wake kufanya kazi ya Wakenya kwa kumhujumu na kumfanya madharau na ofisi yake madharau, akatoa kazi zote zilizokuwa kwa ofisi ya naibu wa rais akapeleka kwa ofisi yake rais mwenyewe. Kwa hivyo kama kuna mtu ambaye amefeili, mwenye ameshindwa kufanya kazi ya utekelezaji wa kusaidia wakulima wa miraa, kama sio Munya basi ni yule aliyemteua. Na ndio nasema Munya kama hawezi tuambia Uhuru hata rais mwenyewe ndiye amemkataza, atuambie ya kuwa mwenye anafanyia kampeni sasa ndiye atamwezesha. Lakini hoja kubwa na Spika ni ya kuwa waziri kikatiba, waziri wa serikali hafai kuwa akiendesha siasa, na hiyo ni katiba. Hao mawaziri tumewapitisha kwa hili bunge wakiteuliwa na rais kama waziri, na kuna ule utaratibu wa sheria na kikatiba ambao wanafaa kufuata. Na ndio yangu haikuwa kumjadili Bwana Munya. Bwana Munya ni mtu mdogo sana kujadiliwa na bunge. Tulimjadili wakati tulikuwa nampiga msasa ateuliwe kama waziri. Chairman wa Agriculture Bwana Tirena kwa hapa atakwambia tabu na shida zilizo na wakulima, mambo ya mbolea huko bonde la Ufa kaskazini, ni mambo ambayo huyu waziri pia amefeli kama waziri. Na sina ni venye tu Bwana Spika, hakuna wakati hii miezi wiki mbili imebaki ya kupiga msasa na kufuta. Naomba Wakenya tufute huyo waziri na kufuta hii serikali na wale wanaowafanyia kampeni.
Now, the issue, just to remind you, the issue arose out of a comment by way of appreciation from the member for Igembe South upon the report that has been presented by the chair of the Agriculture Committee about the statement that he had sought about the miraa markets and things like those. Just because I can see a few of you are walking in and beginning to get excited, you think that what you found there, there is no motion. So all of you are putting interventions. I hope it's not on this. Is it on this? If it's on this one, next order. Next order. Next order. Next order. The House must do business, not...
Order number 8, procedural motion, extension of sitting time.
Majority Whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 33A, this House orders that, should the time appointed for adjournment of the House today be reached before conclusion of business appearing under Order number 17 on today's order paper, the sitting of the House shall stand extended until the conclusion of the said business. Honorable Speaker, as the House may be aware, or is aware, we have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of commitment. Again, as Honorable Speaker, the time frame which we are likely to rise the House due to Sinadie leave. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, it's important, now that we just have 3 days beyond today, it's good that the House concludes as per the order paper to Order number 17, so that we beat the time, Honorable Speaker. I wish to move and ask the Honorable Ishungwa to second.
I second. No, on record. On record.
I second.
No. Honourable members, let me propose a question. No, you can't ask before we have proposed. I propose a question It is that pursuant to the provision standing under 30, subsection 3, paragraph A, this House orders that should the time appointed for adjournment of the House today be reached before conclusion of business appearing as order number 17 on today's order paper, the sitting of the House shall stand extended until conclusion of the business of the said business. Honorable Abdul Samad.
Honorable Speaker, I seek your indulgence with a lot of humility. With a lot of humility, I repeat again. I seek your indulgence, Honorable Speaker, considering that the Public Investment Committee has 3 reports equally. I seek your indulgence that the motion that the the minority whip has requested for to be extended not up to order number 17, but rather to the order that reaches up to PIC. In that way, Honorable Speaker, it will enable us to be able to also finalize the other. It is a humble request, Honorable Speaker.
But you see, the way to go about that is to propose an amendment. Where there will be other people to second, I call upon the mover to. No, Honour members, let me put the question. Let me put the question. That pursuant to the provision standing under number 30, subsection 3, paragraph A, this House orders that should the time appointed for adjournment of the House today be reached before conclusion of business appearing as order number 17 on today's order paper, the sitting of the House shall stand extended until conclusion of the business. With as many as that opinion say aye. Many of the opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Sorry. Yeah. Oh, next order. Next order.
Order number 15, Committee of the Whole House.
Yes.
This is the schedule. That's the schedule. This is the procedure. Standing orders without amendments.
Honorable Nyanae, we are now in Committee of the Whole House to consider amendments to the standing orders. And I have reliable information that you intend to be back in the 13th Parliament. It might be useful that you prepare what you are going to use. I am aware that several of those other members walking away have no idea what it is we are doing. They're just passengers. So, honour members, we are in Committee of the Whole House. Where do we start?
The first two.
Other members,
Standing order 1.
I propose that standing order number 1 be part of the standing orders. There is no amendment. So I put the question, which is that the standing order number 1 be part of the standing orders. Because many as that opinion say aye. Aye. Many of the opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Yeah.
So just like the way we deal with the bills at the Committee of the Whole House, now that there are no amendments to this standing orders. Why can't you read in about 5 of them, we put the question, another 5, we put the question to move faster? Because there's nobody who has an amendment.
There are several, the reason is because there are several proposed amendments.
Okay.
It's not just that number one.
By members.
Number one, standing on number one has no proposed amendments.
By the committee.
Yeah.
Okay, Speaker. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, the committee has amendments.
Yes.
Thank you.
About number 2 itself.
Standing order number 2A.
I propose that standing order number 2A be part of the standing orders. There are no amendments proposed, and I put the question, which is that standing order 2A be part of the standing orders. As many as that opinion say aye. Aye. As many as the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Standing order number 3.
I propose that standing order number 3 be part of the standing orders. That one has an amendment.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry to call you chairman today. You are ordinarily a speaker. This basically is on the proceedings of a new August House, and it is actually the order of precedence in terms of taking oath and so forth. So the justification is to recast and rearrange the provisions of the logical flow to put into consideration the order of precedence to be observed in the National Assembly as provided under Article 108(4) of the Constitution. Thank you.
Well, I think I hope members have followed up. So I propose a question, which is that standing order number 3 be amended as proposed by the committee, as per the order paper. I put the question, is that standing order number 3 be amended as proposed in the order paper. With as many as that opinion say aye. Many of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question, which is that standing order number 3 be part of the bill. With as many as that opinion say aye. As many as the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Standing order number 4.
Mr. Chairman, I beg to move that standing order number 4 be amended as per the order paper. This is basically on elections of the Speaker after a general election. The justification of this is to recast the title of the standing order for logical flow of provisions and to delete paragraph 2 and 3 for the introduction of in the appropriate standing orders that deal with vacancy of the Speaker. Because in the bill, in the standing order, there are others that deal specifically with that.
I propose that standing order number 4 be amended as per the order paper. I put the question, which is that standing order number 4 be amended as proposed in the order paper. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question, which is that standing order number 4 as amended be part of the standing orders. Will as many as what opinion say aye? Will as many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Standing order number 5.
I propose that standing order number 5 be as there's an amendment.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Chair, there is an amendment to this one. Yeah. So, Mr. Chair, I beg to move that the standing order number 5 be amended as per the order paper. This is to require the clerk to appoint a nomination day and designate a place and period within which candidates may present the nomination papers for election of the Speaker, so that it is different from what happened before, where they bring it to the clerk's office. We want to make it more transparent and open. Thank you.
I propose the question, this is as a standing order be amended as proposed. I put the question, this is that standing order number 5 be amended as proposed in the order paper. As many as other people say aye. Many other people say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the question, which is that the standing order number 5, as amended, be part of the standing orders. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many as come to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Standing order number 6. Propose that standing order number 6 be part of the standing orders.
Yes, Chair. I propose that, I beg to move that standing order number 6 be amended as per the order paper. This is basically on issues of election, and the standing order 10 now requires the clerk to maintain custody of ballot papers after elections, as ballot may also be required in case of a dispute. So he keeps them so that if there is any person like what happened this term wants to go to court, there will be ballot papers to prove.
I propose a question, which is that standing order number 6 be amended as proposed on the order paper. Honorable Biale.
Speaker, this is a very, very good amendment. The House must set the record straight and show an example. You know, there are people in this country who always go to court. So in the event one of them applies for the position of a speaker and they want to go to court, I think even the custody of those ballot papers, both spoiled and the numbers that have been casted, must be kept in a very safe, strong room segregated by the clerk. I support.
I put the question, is that standing order number 6 be amended as per the order paper. Will as many as those opinion say aye? As many according to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I now put the question, which is that standing order number 6 as amended be part of the standing orders. Will as many as what opinion say aye? As many according to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Standing order 7. Propose that standing order number 7 be part of the bill. There are no amendments. I put the question, which is the standing order number 7 be part of the standing orders. As many as what opinion say aye? As many according to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Standing order number 8. Propose that standing order number 8 be part of the standing orders. Move on.
Chair, I beg to move that standing order number 8 be amended as per the order paper, still on elections. And for consistency, the word printed is used in reference to ballot papers, still on the elections of the Speaker.
I put the question. I put the question, which is that standing order number 8 as amended be amended as proposed by the chair. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many according to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I put the question globally that standing order number 8 as amended be part of the standing orders. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many according to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Standing order number 9. I propose that standing order number 9 be part of the bill, be part of the standing orders. There is no amendment. I therefore put the question, which is that standing order number 9 be part of the standing orders. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many according to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Standing order number 10. I propose that standing order number 10 be part of the standing orders. Move on.
I beg to move that standing order number 10 be amended as proposed in the order paper. This is still on elections of the Speaker, and this is to require the clerk, like the Honorable Dwala has just indicated a few minutes ago, to retain custody of any spoiled papers after election of a Speaker.
I propose a question, which is that standing order number 10 be amended as proposed in the order paper. I put the question, which is that standing order number 10 as amended be part of the standing orders. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many according to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I put the question, which is that the standing order number 10 as amended be part of the standing orders. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many according to opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Standing orders number 11 and 12. propose that standing orders 11 and 12 be part of the standing orders. It's no amendment. I therefore put the question, which is that standing order numbers 11 and 12 be part of the standing orders. Will as many as have opinion say aye? As many as have opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Standing order number 12A.
I propose that standing order number 12A be part of the standing orders. Move on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I beg to move that standing order 12A be amended as proposed in the order paper. This is basically on issues of vacancy of office of the Speaker. This is to align the standing orders with provisions of Article 106 of the Constitution.
I propose that standing order number 12A be amended as proposed in the order paper. There being no debate, I put the question, which is that standing order number 12A be amended as proposed in the order paper. Will as many as have opinion say aye? As many as have opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that standing order number 12A as amended be part of the standing orders. Will as many as have opinion say aye? As many as have opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Standing orders 12B, 13, 14, and 15.
I propose that standing orders 12B, 13, 14, and 15 be part of the standing orders. This not being no amendment, I put the question, which is that standing orders 12B, 13, 14, and 15 be part of the standing orders. Will as many as have opinion say aye? As many as have opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Standing order 16.
I propose that standing order number 16 be part of the standing orders. Move on.
19. I beg to move that standing order number 16 be amended as part of the order paper. This is issues to do with the panel, where there is an increase of panel members from 4 to 6. This is to increase the members, and the justification is just to make them a bit more efficient, and also that they are not overwhelmed like has happened in this term.
I propose the question, which is that standing order number 16 be amended and proposed as per the order paper. There being no debate, I put the question, which is that standing order number 16 be amended as per the order paper. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many as the opinion say nay? The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that standing order number 16 as amended be part of the standing orders. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many as the opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Standing orders 17 and 18.
I propose that standing orders 17 and 18 be part of the standing orders. There's no amendment proposed. I therefore put the question, which is that standing orders 17 and 18 be part of the standing orders. Will as many as that opinion say aye? As many as the opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Standing order number 19.
I propose that standing order number 19 be part of the standing orders. It's an amendment.
Mr. Chair, I beg to move that standing order number 19 be amended as per the order paper, and I hope the Honorable Duale is listening to this, because these are some of the proposals that he himself initiated. It's actually on issues of party leader and order of precedence. The justification is to establish the offices of leader, majority, and minority leader, and prescribe the order of precedence in the House in line with Article 108 of the Constitution, and also to require the clerk to facilitate the discharge of House business by the two leaders on behalf of the majority and minority parties.
I propose the question, which is that standing order number 19 be amended as per the order paper. Honorable Duale.
Speaker, as the first occupant of this office, and of course with many years, in fact the most important thing, the President is in Article 108, but it is now giving the standing orders the Speaker to facilitate, in accordance with other jurisdiction, that we have, our coalition caucuses, specific rooms for the coalition. If the party leadership wants to meet, if their party leader wants to come to the House, this gives the Speaker room as the chair of the Parliamentary Service Commission to even create a certain budget line, so that under the presidential system of parliamentary system, presidential system that we are used to, parties and its leadership get very strong positions. And before the speakers, as our chair for PAC, was handcuffed. But I think with this now put in standing order, the speaker can support both the leader of majority and the leader of minority and their caucuses. I support.
There being no other contribution, I wish to put the question, which is that standing order number 19 be amended as per the order paper. Will as many as have opinion say aye? As many as have contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Put the global question, which is that standing order number 19, as amended, be part of the standing orders. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? As many as contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
Standing order number 20.
I propose that standing order number 20 be part of the standing orders. Mover.
I beg to move, Mr. Chairman, that standing order number 20 be amended as proposed in the order paper. This again another thought from the Honorable Duale. It's basically on issues of elections, removal of party minority leader of the minority and deputy leader of minority parties, and the justification is to enhance the process of elections and removal from office of the leader and deputy leader of the minority party. A member seeking to remove the leader and deputy leader shall file a motion with the party supported by at least 1/4 of the members of the party, and when communicating the decision of the removal of the deputy, the leader or deputy, the whip must attach minutes of the meetings and names and signatures of members who attended and resolved the removal of the leader or deputy.
I have proposed a question, which is that starting on number 20 be amended as per the order paper. Honorable Duale.
Speaker, I think this is good for everybody, just like the way we have the fair administrative justice and even procedure of even removing a member from a committee. I think the leadership of this House should not be subjected to removal from office in funerals and in public rallies under the whims of some people who sit very late in the night under the influence of certain products. The House must have, yes, the House must have due process, that if you want to remove Honorable Jude Jomo, you must give him due process. I'm talking as a victim. Up to today, there are certain signatures I'm yet to see, but of course, when my book comes out, Mr. Speaker, I'm talking about that period. People will say, but we must protect the future leaders. It might not be me, it might be somebody else, but a due process in law, that even the Speaker, even how we submit the list to the Speaker, the minutes, the signatures must be documented in our standing order. I support.
Any other comment? Honorable Junior.
Mike. Thank you, Honorable Chair. And Honorable Chair also rise to support this particular amendment. It is indeed a very progressive amendment. And as a ranking member, the Honorable Member for Garissa Township has said, it is also in pursuit of the Fair Administrative Justice Act and the provisions of the article in terms of fair administrative processes, that any person being removed from office ought to be given a fair chance to be heard and to know what is being accused of. And I honestly sympathize with the Honorable Aden Duale, because I was a member of that party, the party that the leader of majority then, the Honorable Aden Duale, served as leader of majority. And it is true, Honorable Speaker and Chair of this committee, that the removal, for instance, of the Honorable Aden Duale as leader of majority was extremely unprocedural. There was no party caucus that sat anywhere, not a parliamentary group meeting. not any party organ, Honorable Speaker, that sat to even listen to accusations against the Honorable Duale. And he served diligently the party that he was serving then, Honorable Speaker. But he was removed in a very unprocedural way, and it's only right that in future we protect future leaders of minority and leaders of majority. You've also seen, Honorable Speaker, the case that we had of the Honorable Aisha Jumwa in the Parliamentary Service Commission that you serve in, attempts by a political party without following due process, attempting to remove her. And it's only fair then that we give both the leader of minority and the leader of majority some protection under our own standing orders, that members have a say, because these leaders are leaders of the House. They don't lead their political parties in the House, they lead members of Parliament in the House. And therefore it is only right that if any one of them is to be removed, whether from the minority or from majority, that the members they are leading have a say as to the person they want to lead them. With that, I support.
Any other? Honorable Martin Owino Waters.
What, Chief?
Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Member Bondiwa.
Thank you so much. I want to add my voice to this. Indeed, fairness is paramount at all levels, not only in leadership, but at all levels. But I wanted to be in record that this is for future prosperity and not coming or driven by victims. Because if we put it like that, it's a reactionary instead of being precautionary. So I think this is a good thing. I'm just wondering, Mr. Speaker, why it is a quarter and not a third. Because even if you want to play the vendetta, a quarter is still a small amount of people just to gather signature and get you out or bring it here. So, but I support.
Well, I'm sure many of you may recall, towards the tail end, those who were in the 11th Parliament, towards the tail end of that Parliament, so when we came up with the process that is in Articles 1, in Standing Orders 173 and 176, all through to 176. And I do recall that even getting that passed through here was problematic, even to notify a member. So I think it's good, it's incremental. Honorable Owino, it's incremental, and I think it is good for us. We are doing these standing orders for the 13th Parliament. They are not to be applied in the 12th Parliament. It's for that reason that, in fact, I'm here. It's because they are not meant to be used by this Parliament. It's for the future Parliament, and maybe they could find it necessary to increase the threshold. So much the better. They could even come up with 50%. But I think it's good to start somewhere. Yes. Honorable Nyamai.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I agree with the amendment. But Honorable Speaker, I also have reservations on the justification that was given by the Honorable Duale and the Honorable Ishungwa. And I would like to say that it is important that we look at this as an amendment to improve work, implementation of work in the future Parliament, that is in the 13th Parliament, and also ensure that we do not look at it as a correction of what has already passed, because that has already passed. I think that justification is not acceptable, but he has a right to say that. Honorable Speaker, I would like to say that this amendment is good because it also takes care of party loyalty. Honorable Speaker, the reason as to why people become majority and minority leaders in this House is because they have been loyal to a party. So party loyalty is paramount, and this the standing order that we have amended today takes care of party loyalty. So there is no way someone can be a leader of majority, leader of minority, without being loyal to that party. So thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, what? I hope it's a point of order that you are saying which is out of order, not a point of argument.
No, Mr. Speaker, I think Honorable Nyamai is out of order. Mr. Speaker, you must correct that there's a tendency that there are people who come to the House and contribute based on what some other members of Parliament have said. We have our own justification and we have all the right. So you also justify, but don't use it. In fact, Mr. Speaker, we make laws after using them, but not just because, and just because I spoke, you come and out of respect to criticize my free thought, my free conscience. Think for yourself.
No, it is not out of order to criticize. It is okay to criticize, but she still supports. But what we provided for in Standing Order 173, that before a member is de-whipped, that they be notified, so that if it is proposed to take any disciplinary action, they appear before the relevant caucus of the